Good morning, everyone. So let's start our discussion. Uh, Basically, introduction to the C language, and we have to have a quick overview what we are doing in C language and what kind of interesting things we have in the C language and so on and so forth. So to get an understanding, we'll see what is this C language is actually. We'll see what is C language is and how this C language working and so on and so forth. Can someone please tell me anything that you know related to C language? Yes, any idea? Anything related to uh, anything that you know related to C language? Please make sure to add your index number. The people, the students who do not have, do not in with your student number, please rename or leave and join again because we have to have an identity who is joining here. So if you don't have an ID, yes, please let me know. All right. So seems a couple of people. Yes, I have disabled mics actually, unless it might be a trouble. After like all the things, I will let you know. Like in case if you want to have a discussion, yes, of course, I can switch on the microphones. So yes, you can have your registration number or S number. That's fine. Neither options might work. That's not a problem at all. Whatever an identity should be there. I have enabled rename yourself. Now you can rename your self properly. Please make sure to rename uh, unless we have to uh, go for a registration and it's a big process again, which makes your life a bit complicated. All right. Let's have a quick discussion. What happens in here and what is this story is basically. Um, C is considered as a high-level uh, programming language. It's considered as a high-level programming language, and statements in C are English-like. So it's more or less English-like language and close to human language. So the natural language that you are speaking is much similar to C syntax. Syntax means the words that we are using to write in C language. So it's easy to read and write in C language. It's very easy language. Since you have some experience in Python, I believe C is a piece of cake. Since the computer can understand only the machine language, a program that is written using C needs to be translated into machine language before executing. Now, if you take this big story in here, what you are writing this, assume this is the code that you are writing in your program, the IDE or something, right? IDE means integrated development environment, the place that you are writing your code. For an example, Visual Studio Code or Anaconda or whatever. There might be a lot of IDEs in there. Visual Studio Code we have. Then we have Eclipse. We have for Java people. We have Visual Studio. Again, it's an IDE. So a lot of IDEs we have. So whatever the place that you are writing, even a notepad. Notepad can be considered as a text writing place, but it's not an IDE because it's not a place that's supporting for the coding. So for supporting coding, to support writing these codes, we have to have an IDE. That's the easiest thing. Is use those things. Here we have an IDE to writing all this code, and this code is written in human language. Human, right? It's human language. Yeah, so we don't want to bother a lot. It's just mainly just going through in a human understandable language. Then what we have to do is we have to convert these things into machine understandable languages. Machine understand to tell to machines to we have to give instructions to machine. Simply, this is your computer. Here we should have 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 because this is the place that computer can understand whatever things as I told you that yesterday. Now this is your natural language or the human written language. English will take in simple terms. It should be translate into these 1 zeros. So that's the bigger part that we have to consider. That's why we mentioned in here computer can understand only the machine language. So the machine language is basically ultimately running in these byte codes or 1 zeros. Written using C needs to be translated. Here we should have a translator. There should be a translator to machine language before the execution. If you take a very simple example, think a tourist here, whoever a Japanese person, we'll assume, and we have a shop in here in Sri Lanka. This is something that food selling or something. This person has zero knowledge in Japanese. This person is a Japanese person. Here we don't have a zero Japanese knowledge. What we have to do is we should have a specific translator in between. This person is understanding all these things in Japanese language, then translating into the Sinhala people. Sinhala people can take all of these things, and this translator could again translate into the actual Japanese. This is how this translation process is going on. Every language. This is the language that we have. Its human language is Java, Japanese. So we have lot of languages: C, C Sharp, Python, R, Ruby, Scala, Go. Lot of languages we have. Dart. Yes, of course, lot of languages we have. All these language needs to be translated into a proper place to execute. That's the biggest story that we have to understand. That's how, in a very high level, that is going on. Now, Let's see next what we have to do in here. C is considered as a high-level programming language, as I told you. Statements in E language like closer to human language, easy to read and understand, in the computer can understand. This, of course, we understood. Here we have a hello world example. A C program basically consists of following parts. We have preprocessor commands. We have functions, variables, statements, expressions, comments, and so on. Lot of things we have. So we have to focus whatever things that written in here very well. Now I think we can remember yesterday also we have this kind of a something. I think you can remember, right? Something that yesterday also we did this kind of a thing. And what is this actually? Now we have to go to a bit more detailed and we'll see what is actually in here. Here we have at the very beginning, clearly understand, we have hash include stdio standard input output stdio.h. Now don't think about the standard input out for now. It's just think stdio, a preprocessor command which tells a C compiler to include stdio.h file before going to actual compilation. Now what the biggest story in here we have to tell, all right, I'm going to use this kind of a C program. To execute this C program we should have a clear uh, mechanism to execute in the processor level. What is that? It's in machine language. In simple terms we'll assume. Now what we are doing by adding this one single set of words, will state it's an import state, or we can say it's a preprocessor command. Actually this is something that we are asking, please make sure to execute this program, because if we add this stdio, there are a lot of some codes behind the scene. We have some people written previously. These codes were written by someone else. These codes are essential to execute the program what you are running in here. Whatever the program that you are running in here, it's must to have a detailed mechanism to execute. Simply, this single word would help to perform that. All right. Now, next, that's the very first thing that you have to understand. We'll see, do we need to add this stdio.h forever? And is there any mechanism to skip? So we can do it later on, but just for now, you just keep in mind, we have to add hash include stdio.h. Then we have something here, int main. So we are telling the main function where the program execution begins. Now what happens in here? We have a main function. It's like some activity happens in the computer. Some activity. Function means some activity. I'm going to tell some activity is going to happen. Now give me some examples that you are doing daily basis. You are eating. Eating is a function for you. Running is a function for you. Sleeping is a function for you. All of these things, activities in simple terms, don't think a lot. Just think in a very high level. Some activity, it's an activity. What we are doing is we are telling, I have a main function. It's like wake up. Wake up. Now, the program is starts to execute early in the morning. Once you wake up, the very first action happens. Very first function executed, unless still you are sleeping. If you are execute the very first main function, wake up function, now you are wake up. Now you are active. Then after, we have to tell, all right, something that happening inside this scope. What is this scope? We have open curly bracket, then we have closing curly bracket. we have in between something that we are writing. This opening curly brackets to closing curly brackets, we have something in here. So what we are doing now, we are telling, okay, computer, I'm going to execute some statements now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to execute some statements. That means statements are the commands that we are issuing to the computer. Hey, you do this, you do that, you open a file, you close a file, you wait for user input, and so on and so forth. So that's the biggest tool that you have to keep in mind. We have a scope. If you don't add these curly brackets, computer would get confused. Computer would get confused. What is the reason behind? Because computer has no idea what to do next. Because this main function with these brackets, computer knows, all right, I'm going to start an execution. I'm going to do something. I'm wake up, awake. What are the actions now I have to do? I have to get out from the bed. It's an execution. It's a process that we are telling, all right, what I have to do. Meditation. Once you wake up early in the morning, you are doing 10 minutes, 15 minutes meditation, right? So that's another statement, another activity, another instruction that we are giving to ourselves, meditation. So what you have to understand in this case is, whenever we have this main method, we have to tell this set of actions happen in this time, meditation and get out from the bed. Then after you might have another function, uh, drink, drink, drink what you are drinking, cup of tea. It's another action. For that action, we should have another scope. You are going for a bath, another action, we have another scope. For each and every activity, for each and every task, we should define these kinds of methods. Then our life is much easier. You learn very soon. I mean, this second year around, we have modular programming. Lot of things we have. So uh, you might get used to these methods somehow. I just want to tell you, we have a method here. Then we have this whole components are required. A name, we'll say it's parameter, and parameter is, we can tell it later on, but just a space to add, tell this is a method. This is a method. We have to tell this is a method, right? That's how we are telling this is a method. We have some more things also by these kinds of things, but generally just think for now, this is a method. If you want eat, how we are writing EAT, a method name, then we have brackets. Once you added brackets, what you should do, you should add curly brackets. Curly brackets are to tell this is my scope. Scope, right? This is my scope. SCOP. Type it. Scope. Right. This is my scope. This is my scope. We have run function. How we are going to now? RUN run. Then we have brackets. We have curly brackets. This is my scope. From here to here. This is my scope. This program here to here. This is my scope. I believe you understood. Scope is really important. If you are writing something outside the scope, program won't execute. If you haven't defined the scope, again program won't execute. So the scope is a really important concept once it comes to program. Not only for this language, for this subject, Java, Python, or Ruby, whatever, it's a must. What you have to do is you have to define this scope. The method that we are writing scope is different from Python to Java to C to all these languages. So you don't want to bother a lot how these things are working. So once you get used these programming languages, you will much familiar, and it's not a big deal for you to understand. For now, all right. My main objective is to tell you this is a scope. This is something called scope. Next, what we are doing is we are telling I'm writing something. It's not something executable. What you are going to do, I'm going to add a comment. Will be ignored by the compiler, and it has been put into the additional comments in the program. So such lines are called comments in the program. Now this is a comment. What is this? This is a comment. How you define it's a comment? We have a unique mechanism. We have a slash in here, forward slash in here. We have a star in here. We have a star in here. We have a forward slash. Within this scope, again the name comes, within this scope, whatever the things that you are writing is non-executable text. You can write anything, but it won't execute at all. So that's what you have to understand. This is my whatever the program. Before this and after this, again, those are executables. These also executable, but compiler ignored those things. Ignored those things. Comments, right? Comments. We ignored those things. Some of the things, some of the instructions in the real world. We ignore it. We don't want. It's just a comment. I just added a comment. I don't want. My manager told this. I don't want. It's a comment. Those are not executing, but just instructions that you give. Then next is we have a statement in here. A function available in C used to message hello world to display the screen. Now we have a specific keyword in here, print, print, print F. So memorize these words. You have to memorize print, you have to memorize int, we have to memorize hash include stdio.h. It's a must. But do we need to memorize these comments? Not actually. You don't want to memorize. What you need to memorize, you need to memorize. This is how you are adding a comment. This is how you are adding a comment. We have printf, we have hello world, some text inside in here. So you can see this is an opening curly bracket. This is a closing curly bracket. In between opening curly brackets to closing curly brackets, whatever the things that we allow to execute, program would execute. That means whatever the things that we are writing hello world or your name or whatever things inside these double quotations, inside this double quotation would execute. Now there are different kinds of variations. You don't want to bother all of these variations for now. You just think, all right, whatever things that we are writing in double quotes, it would execute. Right. This is something non-executable. Non-executable. Why it is not executable? Because we added these special characters, simply the lexemes or tokens, some advanced terms we have. Just think we have forward slash and a star and a star and a forward slash. This is what we known as a specific comment, right? It's a comment. Here we have a specific statement, and this statement is print state. Print statement. This print statement is doing okay. I want to print something in my console. Console is just the black and white screen that you have seen whenever you are doing program. Next, what we have to do is we have to add another statement, another terminal. So we have terminals and non-terminals. We don't want to bother a lot. But in general, this is something that specific term that we are adding, return 0. That means terminates the main function and returns the value 0. If we add 1 here, we'll experiment. If we add 10 here, we'll experiment. Do we need to add return 0 as it is, or is there any possibility to add something else? Clear? Any questions up to now? Now, what I have did is I just go through the initial pre-processing, the part that we are adding. We have a main function in here. Then we have a scope in here, and we have a commit in here. We have a special statement here to print something. Then we have a return. That's all that I did up to now. Any questions? Very interesting comment. Very interesting question we have. I have answered for individual questions. What is the purpose of adding comments? Right? Why we want to add the comments to improve code readability? Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, why we are adding these comments? There are different reasons we have. One reason is we should tell what we are going to do. So that's why we are telling, all right, I'm going to write this kind of a code. I'm going to do this kind of a code. Because if you want to see all these things, unless We have to read all the code from here and there and all of these things. But once it comes to these comments, we can, it's in simple English, so we can read it quickly, we can understand it, finish off it. Unless we have to compile all of these things and get this work done, which is a bit of complicated. And in the other hand, we at the very beginning we are writing a comment. Who wrote this code? This was written by HMM Caldera, and it was written 2025 March 20th. There's releases and stuff. Once it comes to the industry, you might see release. So the release is R27, whatever number we have. Then some additional details might be there. The user requirement patch details, many things might be there. So comments are really important in many aspects, including the readability. So it provides much easier help for us. So thanks for asking that question. So I'm really happy to see these kind of questions. Yes, again we have a question and answer. What is comment means what? So thank you. So it's only visible to the coder, not running to the computer. So very good, very clear answer is given. Really appreciate that effort. Good. So these are nice questions that we should see. What is the purpose of adding n\n in the print statement? It goes to the new line, right? It goes to the new line. All right. Uh, I have the code in your book. This is the code in your book, if I'm not mistaken. Shall we do a quick activity? Can you please let me know what are the things in here from line number 1 to here? We have line number 1, then we have line number 8. Can you please tell me what are the things here in each and every line? Is this a comment or whatever things? What is this? 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 And so on. I don't want specifically. \n is going for new line or something. You don't want to do that. You just try something in here. There should be 8 lines. So eight things might be there. So can you please quickly write it and share it with me before we move to the next Whenever you are answering these questions, please don't make it public, not to everyone. Just send it to me unless others won't try it. So please don't make it public. Just, I mean, everyone, just share it with me. Somehow, thanks for the answers now. Others, please don't check these things. Just try it in your words. You just try it. What is this in here? Students, please, everyone. I just received only 13 13 answers. There are 182, 81 students in the class. So I need at least 100 answers. So don't keep quiet, engage, do the work. So the answers given are very good up to now. So most of you understood the core concepts in here. Really appreciate and keep pushing. Uh, Whenever you are answering, whenever you are giving an answer, make sure to write all these things in a notepad, then paste it to the comment section. Unless I'll get one single line and stuff. I need from line number 1 to line number 8. All the things I need, 1 to 8, all the things quickly. I can see something that you need to emphasize. If you have like a defined starting curly bracket, some of you miss the closing curly bracket, right? So you have to write line number this. There's a curly bracket, closing curly bracket. And comments, these comments we have line number one comment, two comment, three comment, or whatever the comments. Very good idea. I mean, most of you understood very well. One thing that you want to tell specifically, once it comes to scope, you don't have any line. It's from line number. In this case, the scope is actually from line number. I mean, the main scope. Uh, Actually, the main scope in this case, the main scope in this case is here. You can see here the main method scope we have. It's starting from here, right? This is line number 5. This is the place that program starts, and this is the ending place. So this is the scope 5 to 8. Whatever things inside here is something executable. This is what is happening in here. And again, we have a scope in here. Within double quotes, we have a scope in here. After this star, we have a scope in here. See, we have a scope in here. This is again a scope. Scope means some space that we are let the program to execute, or something happens, some action happens in that scope. That's that space. That's what we have to understand, right? Up to now, it's very good. I mean, most of you understood very well. Few of you not actually. I just given some comments for you. And line number 6 is not the body, right? This is not that. This is a print statement. Line number 6, it's a print statement. Line number 7 is a return statement. All of these are separate chunks, separate words. You might see how powerful these words. In this case, in line number 7, you have a return statement and a comment. Most of you missed it. We have a return statement as well as a comment. Now, program executes this portion, but not this portion, right? These two, like return word and zero, will work in real world, execute, but in this scope is not executed. That's what you have to think. That's what you have to think. Comments are really important, right? The way that you are writing is comments, usually what my prefer. It depends on the developers. What I do is usually before starting, I don't add these comments like this. If I want to add a comment, I would add a comment in here. This is the place. This is the place I would add a comment. Then I write whatever things. Some of the people prefer this. Some of the people prefer this, whatever the way. But it should be clear, detailed enough information should be there, right? All right. So let's move to the next slides. We have data types. Data types, we have basic, derived, enumeration, and void. So what happens in this scenario? We have basic data type. So types we have uh, int, char, float, and double. Derived types we have array, pointer, structure, unit. Enumeration, enum, void, void. Don't worry about these things a lot for now. If you just understood we have this kind of a thing, that's more than enough for now. Don't bother a lot because you can't understand all of these things. What is this enumeration is? So it's a big story. And some students ask, what is this void? Right? What is this void? It's another special scenario. We'll see. We'll go one by one and see what is in here. Here we have a variable is nothing but a name given to store storage area out programs can manipulate. Unlike constants, variables are changeable. We can change value of the variable during the execution of the program. Now, you don't think a lot. A variable is just a bucket, a water bucket. I believe everyone knows what is a water bucket. This is this water bucket. You can fill some water. You can start with 1 liter. You can tell it's 10 liters, or you can say 5 liters, whatever. We have a tap in here. Time to time it's filling and people are taking out. So this bucket, the empty bucket, is the variable. The value is the value that we stored at that moment, at that given moment. But in next minute, it might be changed. For this time, this is what we have. And in the other hand, we have uh, some more situations like there's a minimum and maximum scope. We have minimum and maximum values. We have a type that we can fill out. What we can do, we can fill water for this. Can fill water for this. So something like some special buckets might be there. We have a special bucket like this, very small starting, and this is the shape of this bucket. So we don't have a large opening in here. Now we have a big stone in here. Can we put inside to this bucket? No. Water or sand, something that we can fill. There's a type that we can fill for this bucket. That's what you have to keep in mind. Unlike constants, we can change. We have a bucket. Time to time we can change it. Whatever the values can be changed. It's up to a given scenario. Data types of variable. A variable in C language must be given a type, which defines what type of data will be called. The data type that we are calling is char, int, float, double, void, whatever. I don't like this void a lot. We'll go for char, int, float, double for now. We have specifically int, integer, a numerical value. Now we have a bucket in here. This bucket can store only numbers. Only numbers. We have a bucket in here. We can store any characters. Characters. Characters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, whatever. A combination of characters might be there. So it combines for a name. And there might be decimal values, double values, float values, different types of things that we can fill. Keep in mind, the type of the data that we are storing should be unique. If you are changing time to time, be careful. There might be some errors. Very soon we'll realize how danger that this type is. Very soon we'll realize it. Then we have a variable, rules for the variables. Variable name must not start with a digit. Variable name can consist of alphabetics, digits, and special symbols like underscore. Blank or spaces are not allowed in variable name. Keywords are not allowed as variable name. Upper and lower case names are treated as different, as C is case sensitive. Case sensitive. What is case sensitive? Case sensitive means the capital simple values are effective for the compilation process. If you have given capital V for void, and if you add simple V for void, these two are different things. So only one possibility would execute in a given scenario, not all. Keep in mind, only one specific. So if you have added simple to capital, capital to simple, program won't run. Some programming languages we have case insensitive, so we don't have a lot of issues in such cases. So it is suggested to keep variable names as lowercase. So we ask you to keep the variable names as lowercase. Right. That's all for the introduction for this C program. Right. Any questions? Any questions you have? No, I'm asking any questions. I haven't told anything. Yes, we'll see. We'll do practicals and we'll see double and void. Second question now the same thing. Installation process we'll see quickly. I know you are really interested now code. Yes, of course. It should be in your head. Very good. I like it. Any other questions? Yes. Yes. Now we go to the week to the lesson two session. Session one we did it finish. Session two. Session two. All right. Let's see the activity 1.2 discussion later. Here we have the contents given introduction to C programming language. Did I share my screen? First, introduction to C programming language, declaring variables in C, operators in C, control structures in C, then functions in C. Some of the interesting things we have. Questions, yes, of course. What you can do is actually you can use an online compiler, or else you can use Visual Studio Code. Neither way is okay for me. If you are working with Visual Studio Code or any IDE, please make sure to install relevant packages. Then only you can work on. Whatever the way that is okay for me, you can follow some instructions. I will share the link in the chat. So you can try Visual Studio Code. I believe it's much easier. Here you go. This Visual Studio Code is much easier and simple um, product. You just click here. I will share my screen unless I think most of you are really interested to see what happens in there. Right. Yeah. Visual Studio Code in here. Right. This is my screen. So what you need to do is you need to download and install Visual Studio Code if you'd like. If you don't like, that's not a problem at all. Whatever an IDE. I'm just suggesting an example for you. All you need to do is you need to click here, the download button. Then you could be able to see Visual Studio Code will download. You can go to these downloads, Windows, Mac, or whatever the machine that you are working. Then install it at the very first. Once you've done it, you need to go to your IDE, open this IDE. Then you need to have this extension in your extension section. You just go somewhere. Let me share my screen. It's much easier for you. Right here we have, this is my Visual Studio Code. If you go to the extensions, click here, then you can see C++, C++ extension. For you, there might be install button here. Just click this install button. Then we have an extension pack. You can click here and you can enable it. Then you can have C++ themes. Yes, if you want to have if you want to click it, install it, please make sure to click it. That's what I'm asking. That's very easy. It's not a big deal for you. So you can do it. But uh, another thing that you have to keep in mind, this is an IDE. So this is not the software package that we want to execute. So what you are supposed to do is actually you need to set up your environment. For that, you need to take this compiler, right? This compiler is required for you, so you can download any compiler for your case. Just giving a suggestion by them. Go for these kinds of things. Just click here, whatever things that you'd like, and direct link is given for you, and you should run this program. So you will get the tool chain. So all these additional packages might be there. Then click here, then accept all of these things, enter. Then all these instructions given for you, then complete it. Keep in mind, we are not doing C++, we are doing C. Okay, we are doing C, we are not doing C++. So don't mess up your life with C++. We are doing C. Some of examples in here, like for an example, this hash include IO stream might confuse you what we did and what is in here. So this is an example for C, C++ both. So what you need to do is you need to specific for C. So that's something that you can go for. And if you'd like to add Copilot, yes, of course, but I believe is okay. But don't spread that I'm allowing all these things, right? Some people doesn't like to use AI tools, but I love AI tools. somehow whatever the things that we have downloaded, and we have these packages in here, then download it. Then this is the extension package that they are asking to install. Then you can install, just click here, then download all of these things. Next, program run. That's all. Make sure to execute this statement, this executable. Now you might state in here the environment. After that, don't close the CLI, the terminal. You need to install some tools, additional tools to run these commands. Specifically, you can go for PCman and Pacman, uh, and all of these things. Copy paste and execute the same instructions given in previously. Now you can see the version. If the versions are working, that's all for you. That's much easier for you. Unless you can go for a search, see online compilers, editors, whatever. Click here. Then there are a lot of the available free things we can find. Here we have an example here, right? You can use this hash include SVD, all these things here. Just click this run button, then you will get an output in here. The way that you are writing is not a problem at all for me for today, because it's very easy and a very simple task to install a software. What I believe is, if you are a software engineer, you should install all these packages into your machine. If you are not installed all these packages into your machine, perhaps very soon you'll realize some missing pieces, some additional things are not working in web environment. These things are just for temporary. For an example, for today, if you don't have set up your machine, set up your IDE, perhaps you might just start. But very soon, you need to understand it's a must. It's a must to install these things into your local machine. Local machine is the your computer, laptop, or whatever the machine that you are working in day-to-day life. Unless it's a big tedious task, for sure, dealing with these online compilers are not highly recommended from my point of view, because we can use temporarily, but not for a long term work. That's the bigger thing that we have to understand, right? I believe we'll solve the problems, and don't try to install all of these things now. You have only very limited time. So during this time, we'll use an online IDE. But today evening, for sure, you can download after this lecture. You could be able to install and set up your environment and confirm it's working properly or not. So that's the big thing that I have to tell you. Right. I have answered all these big questions here. All the past papers are available in the course page. Sometimes I haven't enabled it, so you could be able to get it for you. Perhaps it might be okay very soon. I'll enable all of these things. Yes, there's a question why we want to use IDEs. IDEs are helpful, really helpful in the sense it provides a lot of support for us. While we are coding, some errors, suggestions, we have some additional support we have. So a lot of things we have actually. I mean, supporting point of view, and nowadays we have Copilot and all of these things integrated. So just write couple of codes, then the rest of the things automatically fill out. We have intelligence, right? The automatically supporting for these things. Many things might be there. Many things are there basically to work on, to work on all of these things. So that's why we want an ID, unless we can use a notepad and compile it. Yes, of course. But error identification, execution, and all of these things are really tedious. So what I believe is, please install something for you. I don't bother the way that you are writing. Somehow, if you are writing something, that's all. From my point of view, that's all. I'm not bother for the rest of the things. If you are working student, yes, of course, you can join for the weekend. Like weekend sessions means the same information, same recording will be played again in evening, right? Sorry, weekends. So you can watch in that time. Again, you can engage, but I'll be live interaction with you. I think LMS is visible for everyone now, if I'm not mistaken. If not, please let me know. LMS is given access. I have, I think, the relevant people make it enabled. Not really. Seriously. Oh, I could check again. I saw yesterday there's a notification. It shows all the things are enabled. Somehow I'll check it again. Right. So where we were stopped. Right. Again, right. Let's start. We have declaring variables in C, operations, operators in C, control structures, functions, and so on and so forth. We see what kind of things we have in here. C is considered as a high-level programming language. Yes, we understood it well. We know it. Statements are English-like. Yes, of course. Computer can understand. Yes, of course, we understood it well. No need to repeat again. We have these things. Yes, of course, we have. Ah, we have something more detailed. A preprocessor command. It's a quick review again for you. Here we have include stdio.sh, the preprocessor command. It tells C compiler to include stdio.sh. Sorry, H, not sh. Sh is for shell. Sorry, std libos std lib.h files for going the actual compilation. Main functions were in the program beginning. All the programs needs this function. So starting block of this code, and we have comments, print statement we have, and we have finish function, something to tell I'm going to end this program. So that's what we understood. I believe everyone can understand very well. Types we understood these things. Variables we understood. Right. Some more details we have in here. A variable is a name of a location that store value. Actually, variables are specific memory locations. You don't think about that statement a lot. I'm just telling for the students who are really interested how this thing happens. We have some data input. For an example, what is your age? Now your age is 20. Then You enter this 20. This 20 is stored in somewhere in your computer, in your storage. So that's what happens. Then ask, then the program I'm executing. How old are you? I'm entering. I'm 30. So I'm adding that age 30. Again, it stores 20 removed. Now 30 is in that space. So that's what happened in very high level. A variable is a name of location that can store a variable. Value can be changed over time. Values have data types. We have age 24, name value. We have data types, numbers, chars, booleans. Then we have integers. We have decimals, byte, short, int, long. We have decimals, double, float, and so on. So it's just a numerical value at this moment with these kinds of things with the numbers. Characters, we have English characters, single characters, Tamil, any other language that you'd like. Booleans, we have true or false, is married, true or false, is dead, is running, true or false. These are Booleans that we have. Then we have declaration of a variable. So we have to declare a variable. We have to tell this is a variable. How to declare a variable? In C, all variables must be declared before they are used. If you are planning to use it, you have to declare that variable a bit early. Early you should tell, I'm going to use this kind of a variable in future. So we should have a data type and a variable name. Then we have a value. Then we have a terminator. This is the place that the program is telling, I'm going to stop this program now. I'm going to stop this program now. For an example, we have int is a data type. Mark1 is a variable name. Do we have a value? No, we don't have a value. It's an optional situation. You can assign a value later. But you should have this terminator. You should tell the program is going to stop now. What you're going to do, you're going to tell the program is going to stop now. Again, we have int data type. We have mark2 in here, the variable name we have, and we have a terminator. In this case, we have int here, the data type. We have variable in here. And what we are doing is we are adding a sequence of variables. We have another variable mark2. Mark2 is also a variable name. The type of mark2 is int. Mark2's type is int and mark2's value is 25. We have value. We have another variable mark3. Mark3 is again an integer type and we have a terminator in here. If we add a terminator in here, what happens? Mark3 would get confused. So what we are supposed to do is we should go for commas to tell I have a sequence of variable names. If we add a sequence of variable names, then we can add one single type. If you have different types, for an example, mark2 and name. Name is not an integer, right? Integer means a numerical value. So name is not a numerical value. So we can't add like this. Boolean value. Again, we can't add. If the type is same, yes, of course, then you can add it. We have char, flag, x. X is a character. This character is the value. And we have a flag here, the name, and the char is my data type. And here we have a tag. Very easy. Can you please add a double variable for me? Double variable, double. Type is double. Now, if you don't have a screenshots or something, quickly take it, guys. Here we have double. Type is double. Something double. We have used this example int. I want doubles. Double. Quickly. Everyone, give me an example. Double example. Define the data type as double and tell a variable name and a value. That's all. Start. All right. Nice discussions was gone. I really like these discussions. Yes. Couple of things that I want to emphasize. You should not assign any specific uh, character values like a name. You should go for a numerical values. Once it comes to numerical values, you can add decimal values. Right. For an example, 50.2. Right. So you can add it. Uh, then we have numbers. All the numbers are allowed. Uh, there's some a chat gone on float and the double. Yes, of course, it's a research work. Please check what happens in float and double. Right? So apart from that, almost everyone understood what kind of things we have. But if we get an example, double area equals x squared, not allowed because it's a character. Mm, So you can add any numerical value in this case. So very good and appreciate a lot. Let's dive to the next point. We have some special things we have. Again, assignment operator. It's basically operator telling I'm going to assign a value. I'm going to add this value. Here we have 25. I'm going to add this 25 into age. Age is just a space, and I'm going to add this. This is bucket. So for this bucket, I'm going to add 20. That's all. We have int age 25, int age size 25. You can say cha, and booleans true or false and stuff. That's what we are going to do in here, right? Uh, so we'll see next. We have, yes, guys, please understand the LMS is not under my scope, right? Don't ask this question million times, right? If it is visible, it's visible for you and me for both of us. If it is invisible for you, that's invisible. So undergraduates should understand this. It's a very simple thing, right? So why um, chasing a lot, right? So it's something LMS is not visible. So we have to be patient until it's visible. Because last week there was a huge IT some work underwork gone on, so all the operations were stopped. So after 3 days only the starting was done. You can see once you this post was enabled. I have given this all this information February around. So last month I have started all of these things preparing. So might take bit of time. It's not fully under my scope. So please understand and please be what we call patient, right? Right. Here we have, don't worry, everything will be fixed. And you have all these recordings very soon, don't worry. And all the slides and everything will be very soon, don't worry, you have time. So meanwhile, what you can do is you practice coding. C. C is your fundamental. What I believe is C is your fundamental because there's a mini project. You should finish off. So your hands should be on Z. For C, you don't want any additional instruction. You now this knowledge is more than enough, and you can go to chat gpt and you can go for other materials. There are thousands of millions of materials on it. So these are not big things. Okay, there you go. We have C using variable programs. We have then we have uh, something in here. Hash include stdoi.sh, sorry, h. Again, we have a main method. Again, we have a set of variables, variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, and we have a calculation and assigns for this variable. Then we have this print statement. I love it. I know that very well. Then we have return 0. We'll assume it's written simple. I would like to suggest everyone to give a try for this code quickly. Don't try to add these bullet points. These are not relevant for you unless you might have this. I told right, the software engineers are really interested for one single dot event. So electrical engineers, civil engineers, yes, of course, they have opportunities to plug the wires up and down and experiment. But for us, we don't have. Even one dot makes all these problems. So yes, of course, that's what uh, everyone should understand who is in the software field, right? If you are even if you are a manager, if your manager is from completely non-technical, yes, of course, they'll realize our dot is not a problem at all, a tab is not a problem at all. These kinds of silly things in I have in my life, not in industry, but in other places. Once I was working in industry, they know very well one dot makes a trouble, right? So that's the reality. Okay, there you go. We'll write this code quickly. You can use any online IDE if you don't have any installations. Don't spend your time for installations. Now, just type the code as it is. Copy, say, copy this code from the line number one. Here, comment this one. Just type it, just type it, just type it. I'm not asking any hard thing. I'm just asking to write this code, but just copy paste it to your IDE. Type it. I know there are silly methods to make it quickly. I can take a screenshot and upload to any converter for a text converter. Then it converts to text. Then copy paste into the any online IDE. Then execute. I know that story very well. I'm not a kid, but don't do because it's not giving any skill for you. So we should focus on skills. We should go for the labor market. We should be a person with can attitude and work on stressful situation with a smile, right? So that's a skill. Though it's really uh, stressful time, you should not uh, seem like stress. You should see just all right full fun of time, but behind the scene, yes, of course, lot of stress. That's the software engineer's life. Yes, every day your life is stress unless you'll get stuck very soon. Start quickly type these commands into your whatever the IDE, compile it, and take a screenshot and paste it in here. That's it. Start. All right, quick. I'm just, I got only very limited answers. Still, we'll discuss what is this print F, right? Specifically, what is this F, what is this N, and all of these things. Very soon we'll discuss the unique things, but I want very high level, just to write a code and execute. That's my objective. So if you are in that level, that's I'm really happy with that, because something is done, so some code is there. So quickly do it, guys. Use this time. Unless if you think, okay, I'll do it later of this lecture, no, that's not happening. Guarantee it's not happening. So this is the time that so if you got an error, please post the error message to me, or else what I believe is you can post the problem into the chat GPT. Use it. That's fine. Use it. What I'm asking is, try it. Errors, try it. Paste it into chat GPT and see. Then you know how to solve these problems, because that's the future, right? That's the future. So identifying all these errors and all these things in future is prompt engineering. So try these things, unless you might be a dinosaur very soon. And check the line numbers in the errors. Please check the line numbers and stuff. How these things has gone wrong, what was gone wrong, and sometimes it might be a very simple thing, right? Just one single tab or a dot. It's not a big. Yes, some of you figure out the quick error in this code. Instead of void, you can go for int, right? So that makes sense. Good. So identify these kinds of simple errors. So this might be something that weird, and you realize, sorry, you realize something gone wrong, then you fix it. Good. We should get these errors, then only you can see. Now there are a couple of remedies for this. One is you can remove this return zero. Check it, return zero, then sometimes might work. Sometimes instead of return doing this one, just change this void to int. Try all of these possibilities, different possibilities. All of these possibilities make this your hands dirty. Practically do it, unless it might be highly theoretical. No point at all. A person who can't do anything, theory, full of theory. No point at all. Do practically. It might be C, it might be Java, Python, or whatever. Learn in a practical manner. Unless, no point. No point at all. If you don't know how to code it, how to explain using code, no point at all. Right? That's what I want to tell you. Good. So majority of the class did a good job today, and I really appreciate this effort. Let's dive to the constants. The next discussion point. What happens in here? The constants are located. Are the locations are fixed values that does not change. Can use const keyword or hash defined preprocessor declare it. So this define does not specify a type. Constants requires a type. So we have constants, we have const, we have hash defined in here. So we have defined maximum age is this one. Const int maximum age is this. So different kinds of things we have in here too. And if you take a couple of things, additional methods, we have getcha, putcha, get string, put string, scanf. So these are something that you have to memorize. Right, so you should memorize all of, like, while I mean not to memorize all of these one each and every code. There's no point at all memorizing all these codes. You just memorize the high level keywords, the terms that you should know. So this, like, standard is std io dot h. So you should memorize, unless you can't go back and forth in every second and see what should I start, where should I start. So you should memorize a bit more. So it's a must. Then we have getcha, putcha, get string, put string. Then we have scanf, right? So we have in C, we have a variable defined in here. Then print enter a letter. Then getcha stops the program and waits to the program to execute. Then once we added a char, it could decides to C, then the value will be updated to C. Then similarly, we have putcha, we have gets, we have puts, we have scanf. So memorize these keywords: gets, puts, scanf. All right, this is the input. This is for the output. Good, all good, very good. Then we have formatting. As I told you, we are going to discuss this formatting now. What is this formatting means? Now, previously you just got print, sorry, percentage f, this one, right? So you got confused. What is this f means? Now you can understand. We have percentage s, then we have string, percentage d, it's an integer, percentage c, it's a character, percentage f, we have a float. We have printf, enter your name and age, scanf, whatever this. Then printf SD, we have a string integer, SD, stri, float. Many other formats available. So please go to the references and you can learn a large amount of things. A large amount of things. That's something that really valuable for you. Then we have an activity. So we have incremental and decremental procedures and stuff, functions and stuff. So we'll do it in our next session, how the C variables are working. Before we wrap up the session, could you please let me know any issues, any specific questions to discuss? Most of the questions I have answered. Couple of questions I haven't answered because I don't have any answer for these types of things. I mean, some simple questions you can try it, right? So try it, all these things, then you can do it. Again, I'm ask why still LMS page is short for 2024, right? So you can have to drop an email to everyone, including me, why it's like. Then perhaps I can forward it to the LMS team to ask why it's not visible, right? So please drop an email to me. Uh, I will give my email address. Right. This is my email address. You can drop an email to me so I can forward it. That's all what I can do. Right. Any other questions? Yes, of course, I can share all these PPTs with you, and the recordings are available, but not guaranteed. It's up to, like, if I think if the students' participation is low or interaction is low, so sometimes there might be stopped. And as I told you, don't think this is the last year paper this time. It's a new paper. I mean, all the content might be our question. Don't think it's like last year paper. I'm going to photocopy and change the value 3 to 4 and 4 to 5 and 6 to 7. No. Some of silly people might do, simple people might do, lazy people might do these kinds of simple things, but I'm not in that category. Please understand, I'm not in that category, right? I'm highly like to work, so I want to see complex things to solve. Right. All good. Thank you. Enjoy this week, and perhaps all the problems might resolve before next session. Once you attend to the next session, please make sure to install or get ready your C IDE. It might be an online IDE, that's fine. Till then, say bye bye. Have a nice day. Good luck.